Sal International here for recordonline.com, here with columnist Kevin Gleason at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, where we watched Navy defeat Army 17-13, and another head-scratching loss for Army in this series. Kevin, they're driving for a winning touchdown. They're inside Navy's 20, and a mix on the exchange with Trent Steelman and Larry Dixon fumble ball game.
Just unbelievable, you know. I mean, part of me wondered if Army was going to make a mistake because they fumbled so often, but a big part of me thought that this was finally going to be the day, when Army comes away with a victory here tonight.
It's 11 in a row now for Navy in this series, and Army's 0-10 here at the Link, and next year this game is going to be played at the Link, so yeah. I don't know if this is demons, I don't know if the team is cursed. It just seems like the ball doesn't bounce Army's way. They had Keenan Reynolds fumble inside Navy's 20. Navy guy falls on it. There's no Army guy near it. I don't know. It's puzzling.
It's definitely reached the kind of the theater of the bizarre at this point. You know, with Army, the way they fumble the ball, and it's not like they don't practice it. It's not like they don't study why they're doing it. It's not like they don't spend hours on the why and how. And this is 2 years in a row now that they've been one of the worst fumbling teams in America. And here it came and bit him at the worst possible time. Just like you said, on a mesh play where I think Steelman just tried to pull the ball out at the last second, and you know, it just bounced loose, squirted loose.
Trent Steelman, Army senior quarterback, 4-year starter in this game, was devastated after that play. He was on the sidelines on the bench with his head down, crying. Even at the press conference, his eyes were still kind of watery. Not the way when you're a 4-year starter, you expect to get a win.
Yeah.
Over Navy. They could have. The Commander-in-Chief's trophy was on the line here today. They were so close to defeating Navy and bringing that Commander-in-Chief back.
There's no doubt this was the hardest one of all for Steelman, you know, and I felt terrible for him, you know. As a journalist, you know, you're supposed to look things down the middle, but you can't help but feeling bad for the kid, you know, all he's done here and all the injuries that he's played through, and all the games and records that he's won, and the big games that he's won as well, you know, helping this team win a bowl game 2 years ago and kind of help him resurrect the program. And then the only thing that was missing is that Navy win, and he couldn't pull that out today. It was really tough to watch him, knowing that he had you know, spoken to me earlier about how that would leave a void in his career if he didn't beat Navy, and knowing that he has to live with that for the rest of his life is really hard for me to watch. So I can't even imagine how hard it is to experience it.
I had a couple moments with Coach Rich Ellerson inside his office in the Army locker room, and he still thinks that Army was the better team, that the better team didn't leave here with a win today. You look at the stats, you know, the fumbles tell a lot of the story. Special teams play, they missed a field goal that could have extended their lead a little bit against Navy, could have made it 16-10 in the fourth quarter. And then the tackling it's been problems all year long. I mean, this is not something new. Yeah. And it just seems like, you know, it's just not Army's time to win this game.
It's not, and you know, I know where Rich is coming from when he says that, but there's also that huge give up that the Army defense gave up inside of 7 minutes left. They give up a 49-yard bomb, and Navy made the plays when it had to make them at the end there. I mean, it did come down and score. You know, it took the lead with 4:41 left. And the kid quarterback for Navy, you know, Reynolds, I mean, made plays when he had to at the end there. And, you know, you can always make that argument. Almost every team that loses a tough game walks away thinking it should have won.
Yeah.
But you have to make those plays. You can't just, you know, say that you should have won when you don't make them and when you fumble down there toward the end. So Navy has just found a recipe to win this game. And Army, until it cures its fumbling issues, strengthens his defense, there's going to be more games like this.
Something didn't feel right when a freshman like Keenan Reynolds is singing second, and Steelman still hasn't, his fourth game, and he still isn't singing second. It's just, Josh Jackson told me it just wasn't meant to be for the team, and I guess they end the season at 2-10, and that's not something that they want to take momentum into the off season in this spring practice. A win would have gave them a lot of momentum, right. And now it's back to a lot of questions that need to be answered.
Absolutely, and it's really hard to measure this game and this program and where they're at right now because they basically routed Air Force. They only won 2 games. They should have beaten Navy, but they didn't beat Navy. Yeah. They wind up 2-10, and now coming off a 3-9 attached to a 2-10, it's really hard to make a real convincing argument that they've turned it around.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what what's in store for Army in 2013. Rich Ellerson said he wanted another shot at Navy. He would go back out there on the field and play them again. So are you thinking Coach will be back for another year? And we'll see how if they show progression in the categories that you're talking about.
I still think Rich is the right guy to lead this program. I really do. But you know, he's going to have another year next year where if he doesn't make major strides, then you know I think there has to be some discussion about whether he's the right guy.
Yeah. Well, coming again from Lincoln Financial Field, where Army fell 17-13 to Navy. We'll sign off for KnightCap. Thanks for joining us all season.
Fullback mesh, but I'm running out of here, so I'm gonna put that one on me. There's no way I'd ever put something like that like Larry. Yeah, I mean, it's just unfortunate. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. I feel like we deserved that game in every way possible, but just didn't have it. To be honest, I don't remember much. I was pretty torn up, but I think he just said that you're just one of the toughest players he's ever seen, and just a great player. I respect him for that. He's a great coach.
Well, we've talked about transfer. He's done all kinds of great stuff. This is unfortunate because this doesn't correlate with what he's accomplished here. Great competitor, accomplished player. He deserves to feel better on the last day, but when it all gets into perspective, he'll be okay.
It's our team. You know what I mean? We lost some close games. Our games are always close. But our model, we just keep playing, keep fighting, keep scratching, keep crawling, keep doing whatever you need to do to win. Things got hairy there, but again, huge play by Brandon. Huge stop by the defense that gave us a chance to make that play. You know what I mean? If they score there, and they missed that field goal, which was huge, but, just like, that's kind of been us. Our guys just continue to battle. All of our games are close.
This is the one. Like, so now I'm about to score. And y'all looked at me and were like, let's go. So, couldn't have done it without the guys in the squad. Brandon came in with a huge catch. Made a big play for us. He'd been hungry for the ball the whole game. I could see in his eyes that he wanted it. And I knew that when he got his opportunity, he was going to make it count. And couldn't come up with it. I think that's probably one of the biggest plays of the game. And a huge turning point for us. No overhand ball extremely well this game. And he ran hard, held onto the football. And I'm just so proud of my teammates. Without them, I wouldn't have been able to do it.